Yo ho ho guys, alright. Monolith Book Shadow back with another tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at Perseus. One of the big things that I want to say about the way I play him and the way I build him, he's honestly more of an assist kind of champion for me, or a hyper for me. I do have damage on him to lay down kills, but 9 times out of 10 I'm more so trying to set up kills for my other teammates. That being said though, there will be times where I do intentionally do things to get kills. But let's look at his passive and his skills first things first. Alright, so Immortal Hero. When Perseus' health drops below 15%, the helmet activates and removes all interrupts except for interference effects. Then he enters Ethereal state, or Ethereal mode, for 3 seconds, which has the following effects. He's invisible to enemies, ignores restricting and interference effects, and reduces damage from enemies to 1. So basically, when you get extremely low on health, you become invisible, and all the damage they do to you is reduced down to 1. His Q, Controlled. He pulls the enemy forward, does, 63 damage plus your modifications, then pierces the controlled target with the sword, turning and striking down, doing 152, plus the damage amplifiers that you have. Enemies within 250 units of the strike also take 118 plus the damage amplifiers. His W, Heroic Leap, Heroic Strike. Essentially, I'm going to just explain this and break this down because this goes into detail about it, but basically you leap forward and you glide through the air. If you activate your attack while leaping, you will slam down on the ground and knock up. It creates a little stun effect, if you will. Now, if you are on a ladder or if you jump off and then activate it, you simply glide. However, if you do that, Heroic Strike cannot be activated. You cannot come down and strike them. It is just a clear distance. Dauntless Resolved. Hardens Resolve to decrease the duration of the following effects on Perseus by 20% for 7 seconds. Petrified, Frozen, Stunned, Charmed, Feared, Silenced, Blinded, Bound, all slowed effects. All that is reduced by 20%. He also gains the following effects if hit by an enemy during the Dauntless Resolve duration. Steals attack by 1%, max stats is 10. Steals defense by 1%, max stats is 10. His ultimate, Gorgon's Gaze. I mean, it's the shield of Medusa. You can imagine what it does. If they're looking at you, it will petrify them. But it also increases their defense. Now, he has a unique item that takes that part off if you want to build that. I don't, but he does have that item. Now, it increases their defense by 20. Enemies facing away from Perseus suffer stunned instead of petrified for 1 second. And they also take reduced damage. The damage they take facing away is 295. The damage they take facing him is 443. Valor. Swings the Sword of Ares, doing 154 damage plus your, damage modifiers. Can be used up to 2 times and consumes 1 Valor upon casting. The Valor count is actually above the skill, right there in yellow. Let's look at some of these items here. Crimson Spinners I give him for crit rate and move speed, which is to be kind of weird because the rest of the way I build him. But again, like I said earlier, there are some situations where I do try to go in for a kill. Then I do Electroshock Protector. I don't always do this in the same order, but I always definitely put this on. This is defense plus 5, lifesteal plus 5%, defense max health, and lifesteal, defense max health, attacks plus 10% of defense. When hit, sprays a 400 area unit with electromagnetic explosion, doing 64 plus 3% of your max health damage, up to 80 basic damage with level 10 as base. Only activates when there is an enemy in range. Basic cooldown 9 seconds, cooldown reduced by 0.2 seconds every hit taken. Then we have Verdant Crescent, attack, defense, lifesteal, attack, defense, lifesteal, attack, defense, move speed. So 5% on lifesteal, 5% on lifesteal, and 5% on move speed. Now the aura has the following effects. Enemies within 600 units, attack is negative 20 and defense is negative 20. So it's a nice little debuff since you're going to be the one pretty much engaging a lot of these fights unless you have a good tank to engage. Then I actually do his unique item, Deadly Harp. It gives attack plus 10, max health plus 50, lifesteal plus 5%, attack plus 10, max health plus 100, lifesteal plus 5%, attack plus 15, max health plus 150. Now, what this does is when attacking, it inflicts 2% of max health as damage per second for 3 seconds. So again, another max health item. And enhances Valor. The damage taken from Valor is increased by 15%, and it gives you a max Valor stack of 3, essentially, because you have 2 already. So I'm going to show you, it'll change the Valor stack. So now it's charging, it's going to go to 3. Then we have Shock Knuckles. Attack, defense, and crit rate. Attack, defense, crit rate. Attack, defense. increase the attack of 0.5% of max health, increase the defense 0.5% of max health. When max health is 4,000 or more, increases critical rate by additional 10%. Then exoframe, yeah, there we go. Hits attack plus 10, defense plus 10, attack, defense, and increases max health by 100% of attack, and increases max health by 100% of defense. So everything's kind of going hand in hand together, the attack, defense, and max health. The only reason why I built some max health on this particular hyper is for this damage off the Electroshock Protector, because a lot of people don't expect that damage when it hits them, and it actually does do wonders when you're the one having to pull people in and slam them down in your team, because you're going to get focused at certain points because they're going to try and attack you before you can get to them. Well, anyway, let's go over some of the skills. So his auto attack combo, 3 hits right there. As you can see, it's doing the bleed damage. Valor, you can activate it without doing the combo, or you can activate it mid combo. Now it changes animations depending on where you activate it. So 1 attack, activation, 2 attack, 2 attacks, activation, 3 attacks, activation. His heroic leap, this is what the leap looks like. Alright, and this is what the leap looks like with the launch. Now in order to do that, again, it tells you, but W, and you press S when you're ready. Now you can change your direction in midair, so that is something to make note of. So if you're flying over somebody, they run under you, you can turn back around and go after them. And yes, you can still do the launch. Now you do see the range on that. It does have some pretty decent range, but you need to be aware of where it's going to land. Alright, his E, Dauntless Resolved. This is how the animation looks. I'll turn on the AI later, maybe in this video. I might do a more in-depth video of him later to show you what happens with that. Ultimate's a Petrify. And yes, it does still cast the bleeding. That passive on this unique item works on everything you do, not just your auto attacks. So as you see, petrified and bleeding. Alright, now I'm going to go behind him. Stunned and bleeding. Alright, now the Q. This one I want to kind of go into detail with, because you can mess this up quite a bit, quite easily, and when you first play him, you may or may not. When I first started playing him, I kind of screwed this up a lot. So if you Q, he'll pull him in and just slam him down right there. Now if you Q and hold back, he goes backwards. You Q, hold forward, he goes forward. The thing that I messed up on, which I'm sure a lot of people when they first touch him will, is I'll Q and hold backwards before, instead of doing it after the initial grab. And also, if you don't hold anything, he just slams him down right there. So you really have to time that right on when to press forward or when to press back. Essentially, you want to do it right after you connect with the grab, and if you do it at that timing, that will always give you the effect that you're looking for. So of course, you need the range. If you always do it right after the grab connects, you're always, I promise you, going to get them going in the direction that you want. It'll never not work unless it's bugging or something. But yeah, always after the grab connects, throw. There are a few. Oh, let me show you the W up when you jump and you glide. Now you can't do the heroic strike off that. So again, you can jump and you just glide. Just get out of there. If you need to get out of there or get in there, you know, if the team's having a fight and you're like, oh crap, I need to beat them, just woo, oh god, there we go. I am the hero, you know, the one that y'all need. That's what you do. You get in there with your glorious armor and your flowing cape you got going on there, and your shield and your sword, and you just start doing the work. Anywho, something that I do like to do to initiate things is kind of do this. So if I see that my team's kind of needs some help, right, and there's someone that I can just pick out, I will definitely fly to the back, go here, grab that person, just throw them in my team, and then my team can do the rest of the work. That's another reason why I said I built the way I build him, the way I play him, is for assists, basically. Mainly, I'm trying to make sure my team gets fed, and my team can, like, I'm essentially supporting my team, basically, but not in the support role of, like, I'm healing, I'm doing debuffs, things like that. I'm trying to get people fed, and if it turns out where I get fed instead, hey, fine, that's wonderful. If I can get a little bit tanky and get some nice damage in, I'm fine with that. but that's just how I play Perseus. There are many different ways to play this hyper because he's pretty unique. You can do just straight damage. I never recommend going glass cannon on anyone, but his passive makes it pretty simple for you to get away with doing that. Speaking of which, let me turn on the AI and show you what his passive actually looks like, so you'll kind of get a better idea of what that does. Just go ahead, buddy. Alright, so at a certain point, I'm going to turn invisible, and all the damage he does to me is going to be reduced to 1. I'm not going to do anything. Your health has to be really low for this to happen, though. See? That's my passive. Now, any damage he does, oh, in that time, it's just reduced to 1. And here's with the resolve. I'm going to die, mind you, but I just wanted to show y'all stilling his stats. Alright, we'll do this again. Hold on. Alright, now there's no visual notification that shows you it's stilling stats, but it does. So no worries there. And yes, you can do the heroic leap just straight up and then come straight back down. Well, he's gonna run because he's low on health. But anyway, guys, this was my quick tutorial and item guide for Perseus, and I can't stress this enough. Play the hyper, any hyper, how you feel comfortable with. Play them and build them in ways that work with your playstyle, because in the end, you're the one playing them. My guides are simply here as stepping stones. If you feel that they help, I'm happy. That's what they're here for. But never feel that these are things you absolutely have to do, because there are always better ways to build somebody and to play them. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Have a great day, morning, noon, or night, whatever it is. Get a good cup of coffee, milk, water, juice, whatever it is you're drinking. Make your day a little bit better. Monolith Shadow, and I'm signing out, guys. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Oh, also, before I forget, I'm going to try and start doing a schedule on when I put out content. I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be looking like just yet, but I am going to try and do that for you guys so it'll be a more consistent basis instead of, oh, when is he going to put out his next video. Well, anyway, I will see y'all later.